right. Well, welcome. Here we are. I actually just started teaching online last September, so I still feel like it's last September ago, but it feels like just yesterday. I was getting online and embarrassing myself in front of Emily. Um, it was a very humbling experience teaching online. Um, I feel like I have so much grace for trainees who are teaching for the first time. It is not easy learning something new. It is not easy when everything you've known about teaching changes. And I feel like that's kind of what I went through teaching online. But through all that, I've come out the other end and I've learned to really, really love it. And I think a part of really loving it has been how creative you can be in like using Jamboard and different online resources that are really interactive and are and are yeah, just like really, really good tools in helping a lesson flow really well and helping giving visuals and helping keeping engagement of the students. Something I really struggled with was, which Emily and I talked about a lot when I started, was when you are physically in a classroom, it's so easy to kind of, you know, to feel super comfortable and to feel like you're really, in it with your students and you're able to interact in such an intimate way and joke around and all these things. And then I felt like when I got on at the time Zoom, now we teach on Google Meet, but when I hopped on Zoom, I was like, I felt like I lost all of that. I was like, how do I connect with my students? How do I engage with them? How do I like get to know them or have them get to know me? And now I'm in a classroom of students who are that I feel like I have such like a special relationship with. And we joke and they say crazy things and it's just so much fun. And I definitely didn't think that that was going to happen in the beginning of my online teaching, and I'm happy that we're in the place we are now. So let's talk about how I got there. The rocky road I took. Let's do something fun. So let's look at a Jamboard that I created. Okay, let me preface what's happening with saying that I have gone through a progression of creating Jamboards, using Jamboard tools, and then slowly creating Jamboards using outside resources and a lot of screenshotting and Google Images to where I am today, which is not a safe place for me, which is I have discovered Canva and I am deep, deep, deep into the Canva world. And I spent a ungodly amount of time creating even this one slide, and it was so much fun. But what I'm not going to do is walk you guys through Canva and Jamboard, because that is like a whole other realm and nobody has time for it when they're first learning Jamboard. So, but I'm very happy to show you my one Canva slide. Okay. What we're going to do is we are going, oh, yikes, okay. All of this activity is done on Canva, and I promise it's the only one. The other ones are done using Jamboard, which is a lot easier to create for a beginner. Okay, so we are going to do an activity using prepositions of place. And since we are a small group, we'll just stay inside of our one, we won't go into breakout rooms. But if everyone can turn on their mics, we are going to first do something together. So this is my little prepositions of place slide. I created this slide on Canva, and then I just set it as a background on Jamboard. And so you'll see none of this stuff slides around because none of it is done using the Jamboard features. We'll talk about that later. So we're going to talk about prepositions on place. The prepositions we'll be using is on top of, between, next to, under, and beside. And here we have, where is the sweet corn? So we're going to look at, there's actually 2 sweet corns. And we are going to look at this one here. And so when we ask, where is the sweet corn? We can say on top of the tomato. As we see, the sweet corn is here and diced tomatoes are here and the sweet corn is on top. What is something else that we can say using our prepositions of place of where the sweet corn is? It is between the mustard and the salad dressing.
Mm-hmm. It is under the barbecue sauce.
Oh, that it. You are so right. I hid that from you. And you still did it. It is under the barbecue sauce. Awesome. So here we have a couple examples of how we use prepositions of place. And what we're going to do is we are going to now do our own practice. And I am going to send you a link to that same Jamboard. And we're going to practice together. Okay. There should be a link in your chat that's shared that'll lead you to this Jamboard. When you get there, go ahead and let me know. And if you don't see it, then I can resend it.
So is it easier to do a side-by-side? So you can still see the people and work on the Jamboard at the same time?
Sorry?
So I pulled a different tab out.
Oh, yes. Yeah, if you have it in separate windows so that you can see the class as well as the Jamboard, that would be the best thing to do. Thank you, Anna. And you can go to slide 4. When you are looking at the slides, let me show you quickly a way that you can do this and not mess up your Jamboard here. So when you're looking at Jamboard, up here, you'll see that this is where, if you click here, you'll see this is where all of the slides come up. And you can just press the arrow down to the slide that you want. And so we're going to be on slide 4. Easy peasy. Okay, is everyone there? Good. Okay, now what I would like you to do is I want you to take turns telling each other where to move the items. Example, put the tomato soup on the bottom shelf. We see it here. Put the ranch under the chocolate icing. We see that here. And while you're doing this, I want you to use prepositions of place. And so we can start with Anna. Anna, you can start by asking one of your classmates where to put something, and then that classmate will then ask somebody else, and then you will just go around, and we'll do that for, let's just take maybe 3 minutes for you guys to play around with this, and I'll tell you when time's up.
So it says it's view only.
Oh, let me change that for you. I thought I changed it to editor. Okay. Can you move it now? If you
let me refresh it. Yeah.
There you go. Got it?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Jenna, would you put the ranch under the chocolate icing?
Oh.
Isn't it there?
So the ranch is already right here.
Do you want me to ask somebody? Do you want Emily to ask me something else?
Anna, can you ask her to place it somewhere else?
Oh, Anna.
Sorry, that was just the example, wasn't it?
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Would you put the barbecue sauce next to the Lay's chips?
Good job. Now, Jenna, you can ask someone to move an item.
Okay. Emily, will you put the apple jelly next to the Diet Coke? It looks like orange marmalade.
Yeah, it does. Emily, now you can ask somebody.
Okay. Andy, can you take the Tostitos salsa and put it down next to the frosting? I should have used a preposition of place. Sorry. No, Tostitos. Can you, sorry, I have to rephrase that. I'm an English teacher, I promise. Okay. Can you take the salsa, Andy, and place it between the ranch and the tomato soup with red peppers in it? So between.
All right. There we go. This is so fun, Elise.
I love it. I love that you can move things around together.
Yeah.
I know. I love a good transparent background too.
Yeah. You're rocking the PNGs. Man. Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay. Who hasn't gone yet? Anna? Anna, can you put the salsa and the chips? So put the salsa next to the chips on the top shelf.
Okay, he's just showing off with all those prepositions. Whatever, Andy.
Sorry,
We're a teacher.
I've been working with a lot of beginners this week, so I'm ready for
Yeah.
more than one preposition. Thank you.
Cool. Good job. So this is a really fun activity.
That's great.
I love that the students can move stuff around. We did this in TESOL last summer, and all of the trainees got like really crazy. And when I looked back at their Jamboard, they had done a bunch of like this stuff. They were just like messing around. But I really love it because in an online class where it feels like it is impossible for the students to be interactive, they actually can be very, very interactive and do a lot of fun things. You definitely have to observe well because if I had broken you guys all up into different breakout rooms and if there was more than one group, I definitely would want to be checking in and making sure that there wasn't any weird stuff happening. Sometimes students get distracted and they're like, man, let me just draw stuff. And, you know, it gets fun. It gets a little wacky. But yeah. Oh, somebody's putting all of our stuff in order. Wow, thank you so much. That looks incredible. I love it. Okay. Good job, everyone. Now we can get out of this Jamboard. You guys have access to it. And so you can, well, we're actually going to come back to that jam in a little bit. And so we'll just put that aside for now. And I'm just going to show you all some of the different slides that I've made. And Jen is one of my trainers here, and she has also made a lot of really incredible slides using Jamboard. And so I just want to, I think with Jamboard, like 99.9% of things in English teaching, the best way for you to learn it is just by doing it, really, and by seeing a lot of examples. And so I'm going to show you guys a ton of examples, and then I'll give you an opportunity to try in making your own Jamboard that I've created a format for. And you just have to keep doing it, right? And then as you continue doing it, it gets easier and easier. So when I was like thinking about Jamboard, I'm like, what are the phases of Jam that I feel like there are? And I feel like the first phase is what, which is just what I felt for many months when I started Jamboard. I was like, what the heck is Jamboard? What do I do with this? How do I make it work? And when I first began, I just used the really simple use of like Jamboard tools. And so using text, using images, sticky notes, the drawing tool, the shapes tool, and then setting like very simple backgrounds that are already given to you in Jamboard. The second phase I feel like I got to was like the got it phase, where I started using the Jamboard tools, but also finding ways to use a lot of outside like resources and tools that kind of enhanced what Jamboard couldn't do. Jamboard has a lot of really great features, but there's also a lot of things that Jamboard, like it's very minimal in the way that you can use it. And so I kind of figured out different ways to, I'm a very aesthetic person. I like things to look a certain way and to look really nice. And I spend a lot of time on that. And so I had to figure out ways to make Jamboard something that I would enjoy looking at. And then the last phase I've named Groovy, because I feel like you just get into the groove and you get super stoked when you kind of figure out how to like build your own slides in a more like complex way, and how to use more complex outside features. And so I'm very into Canva right now. Slides Mania is another resource that you can use. It's a site that has free templates on it. We started kind of playing around with QR codes, which is so crazy. And then Jamboard doesn't right now, you can't host a video on Jamboard, so you can't like upload a YouTube video or something, but there are cheating ways to do it and using GIFs and stuff. And so we're just going to focus on the first two things, and I'll show you slides that kind of show you a simpler like way of using Jamboard into a little more fun and complex, where you're using screenshots and image backgrounds and curriculum stuff and all of that good stuff. So this, I had to go really far back to find some of my first slides, but this is an activity I did in one of my classes where we were talking about different things that you're going to do. And so we learned wash the car and mow the lawn and clean out the closet. And this was kind of like a vocab check. And so all of these images are just images that I uploaded. You can see Jamboard is pretty simple in the way that you can upload images. You can, I usually upload from my computer here. You can search Google Images. You can use images from your Drive or from your Google Photos. There's a lot of different ways you can use this tool. A lot of times I'll save an image to my desktop so I can just drag it from my desktop into here. It's really simple. Or I have a folder that's all of my really fun Zoom or Google Meet images in it. So I just added 4 photos. You can adjust them all here on Jamboard. And then I used the Post-it or the sticky note tool to write my numbers. And then I used the text tool. When you open the text tool, you have to click somewhere on the board to see it. I used the text tool to write out my little prompts. And then something that I had to learn in using Jamboard is how to be really efficient, because when you're teaching, it doesn't, it works, you can do it, but it's not always time efficient for me to write out the answers, right? So I'm going to, and I'd ask them, what's number 1? I'm going to wash the car. So you could definitely do that. That's an option. But I figured out a easier way, or maybe not an easier, but a quicker way to do things is using sticky notes on top of each other to hide answers. And so number 1, what's number 1? And they're like, well, I'm going to wash the car. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Yes, you're correct. Simple. And it makes it really quick for me to go through and to not waste too much time writing or having to pull out different tools. Something that was kind of a learning curve for me was when in Zoom, you have the annotation tool, which I relied heavily on when I was teaching. And when I use Jamboard or in using Google Meet, you don't have that feature. And so you kind of have to find different ways to use annotation. One way is obviously you can use the drawing tool, and you can, circle different things or bring attention to different words. I didn't like that I couldn't draw a perfect circle around things using the drawing tool. And so I started using the circle. All of your shapes are here. I started using the circle shape. And with this, all you have to do is make sure the circle is transparent, and then I would use it as to kind of help me if I'm trying to bring their attention to something. Something that I really like about putting images right into Jamboard is that when I click on it, there's a border. And so it kind of, brings attention to an image without me really having to do anything anyways, right? And so if I want them to tell me what the answer for number 1 is, instead of like going through and finding, the shape and creating the color for the outline and then making it transparent, I just use what's given to me, and it works great. For a higher level, So sorry, this is an activity that I would use for a lower level. With Jamboard, I learned that there is definitely a way to use Jamboard for a lower level and a way to use Jamboard for a higher level. When you're working with a lower level, they're not going to be able to figure out following a link and going to your Jamboard and physically working on the Jamboard on their own. And so for a beginner, I use Jamboard just as I would like slides or a whiteboard, right? And so everything I do in my beginner class using Jamboard, I'm the only one working on this Jamboard and they're just watching me do it, or I'm moving things according to what they're telling me, right? When you get to higher levels, you can share the Jamboard with them and they can physically go to the Jamboard and then they can start adding stuff to it. And so this is what we would use for a higher level. This is a word map. If you've done teaching vocabulary, I believe, we talk about these. And so for a higher level, I would say, okay, here's your link, go to Jamboard and then make a word map, right? And so they can go in and they can change all of this stuff. They can open up the sticky note and write their different answers. They can use the drawing tool to draw a picture of whatever, that's really bad, of whatever their word is. My students love when I draw using Jamboard because it's so bad and they get a real kick out of it. It's really easy to use the undo tool if you make a mistake, but this is something that I think is really fun for a higher level. This, like I was saying, all my students really love when I draw for them. And so for my beginner classes, sometimes for a review we'll do, or for like a vocab activity, we'll do a Pictionary. And I'll have all of their vocab words here. And then I'll say, okay, guess what I'm drawing? And then I'll draw something really, really poorly. And then they'll say, grapes. I'm like, yes, grapes. So good. I'm such an artist. It looks amazing. And then I'll take it away.
Do your English students actually laugh at you?
Oh, yeah. They make fun of me. I have a student, his name's Daniel, and he has learned, he is not shy. And so he's always like making fun of me for everything I do. So yeah, this is a really fun activity that I do for my beginner class. This is an activity that I would do for a higher level. So let's say that you all watch a video. Maybe they watch a video on their own, or you watch a video you share a video with them in the Google Meet. Then I would send them a link to this Jamboard and I'd say, okay, now in teams or as individuals, I want you to share what you saw, how did it make you feel, and what do you wonder? And then if they're individuals, you can say, if you have enough colors, you can say, okay, you can assign each person a color so that when you go back to this, you know exactly who said what. Or if they're in teams, you can say, okay, so team 1, I want you to be blue. Team 2, I want you to be yellow. And team 3, I want you to be pink. And then it's really easy as a teacher when you go back to these to know exactly who said what. Again, all of this is done just using the shapes tool, right? I can build a shape here, and then the Post-its or the sticky notes, and then this is just using text. I realized that I don't like a white background, and so if you press set background, you'll see they have already some background set for you. And then in the next few slides, you'll see how we used an image to create the background. This is another beginner activity I created where I just used I used some different photos, and then I had them listen to a recording. When I do recordings, I do it just like off of my phone, or you can do it like from the audio in the Google Meet, because you can't add audio into Jamboard. I'm sure that there's a hack for it, but I haven't figured it out yet. And so I usually use my phone, and I put my phone up to the speaker and they listen to it. And then I ask them some questions. I'll say, what's wrong, or what hurts, what's hurt on Marcy, or I don't remember what the question was, English. And then they would give me the answer. They say like her head, or, oh, I did this wrong. And as a teacher, you mess up and then you just fix it. So I'll say, what's wrong with Marcy? And they're like, her head hurts. I'm like, what's wrong with Luis? They're like, his foot hurts. What's wrong with Debbie? This was supposed to be stomach. Her stomach hurts. I'm like, what's wrong with Max? Like, his arm hurts. Super easy. Easy peasy. The one thing that I think was challenging about using Jamboard for a higher level, where they're going to the Jamboard, is kind of like in the prepositions activity. They can do whatever they want, right? They can move all of this around, and by the time I get to it, it could be completely out of whack. You know, weird things happen. They could be like, it's funny to draw. And then you end up with something really chaotic. And so a really good way to combat that is by creating the format that you want and adding it as an image background, and then adding the parts that you want to for them to be able to access, for you to be able to access. Because this, I just screenshot this from an old Jamboard and added it to my background. So none of this stuff is going to move. And I think that that's like something that is really valuable, because there's been a lot of times where I've been trying to do things on Jamboard and I've really messed things up. And so I think that using the background feature has been really valuable to make sure that Jamboards stay the way that they're supposed to be. And you guys will see that a little later on as well. This is another really fun activity I did in my beginner class, where I found, what I started doing after a while is I would find a really fun background online and I would screenshot it, and then I would add the screenshot into my Jamboard to create, I don't know, just like a little more fun, just so that it's not plain white. You know, why not? And then this is another activity where this specific activity was in the curriculum that we use for our English classes. And so I just screenshot the activity and added it to this Jamboard. And then I would ask the students to tell me what's wrong. And then as they tell me, I just delete the boxes. And it's super easy. Again, it saves a lot of time. And then you're not having to, you know, take up a lot of time trying to write in stuff. Yes, Anna?
When you delete the boxes, do you have to actually manually add the boxes back, like for the next time you want to like reset this lesson for someone else?
Right.
Or does it go back? Or?
Right. So if I move away from it, or if I close the Jamboard and I don't put the boxes back, then you have to redo it. But if you're teaching and if you have time and if you want to make sure that you can reuse the slide, so I deleted all those boxes, right? Everyone got all the answers correct. And then I would just use the undo tool and it makes it all go back.
Yes. Okay.
And then, I mean, that's not like super hard to do, right? And so then you can just make sure that you do it before you close out, and then it's already set to use it again. Because I have had a lot of instances where I haven't done that. And then next thing I know, you know, I'm like having to recreate entire slides. Hi, Craig. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you.
Wow.
Craig.
A TESOL celebrity.
Yeah, that's
over
right.
here.
Hardly, but
Craig was stopping by, and I said, Craig was just stopping by, and I told him, "Hey, do you hear a familiar voice in the background?" And so I invited him to come sit down.
And obnoxious.
This is yeah, one of our favorite staff for many years, and goes to Russia twice a year until the last year or so.
yeah.
And now is doing similar stuff with the same people, but in Turkey and elsewhere. So come hang out with this guy, or if you want to get connected. So
Yeah.
figured we'd say hi.
Borscht.
Yeah.
Is that what it is at your house? Yeah, so fun. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you too.
We're talking about some Jamboarding. This is a Jamboard that is going to reload. This is a Jamboard that one of my trainers did, which I thought was a really fun activity. She created this background. Again, all she did was screenshot from online, or what I started doing is I would create like a background on Pages or on Word or on a Google Doc. I would create what I wanted my background to be, and then I would screenshot it and then upload it into my Jamboard. And then you can upload, these are, she wrote out these different answers in Pages, screenshot them, and then uploaded them into her Jamboard using images. And then she had her students go to it, and then they just took each of the different parts and put them where they go. And so I thought that was like a really creative way that she created this jam. Emily.
I was just reacting, that's all.
Oh, I was like, it didn't look like this. It looked like a hand raise.
I like it.
There we go. This is another really fun jam that I did with my lower level class, where I just screenshot these two things. So in my images, I took a screenshot of, at this point I have so many images downloaded.
Oh, I don't think we can see what you're seeing, but I'm sure it's wonderful.
Oh, I need to show my window then. All I did was I screenshot these two things, and then I uploaded them into Jamboard. And then I downloaded a bunch of PNG images. So I'm a big fan of transparent backgrounds. And if you just look up PNG generator, there's tons of them. And I haven't got a virus on my computer yet, so I feel like they're all fairly safe. And I've downloaded from a lot of different ones. And so I download all of my PNG images, and then I just fit them into my background. I created this on Pages, and so I just found an image of this note card, uploaded it to Pages, added in my ingredients, a fun picture of a burrito. I screenshot it and then uploaded it into Jamboard, and then created this. And something that I did is then I would ask my students, like, do we have 1 chicken? Do we have 6 eggs? Do we have 1 cup of cheese? And then they can just kind of look and see. Yes, Anna.
So with the screenshotting, is that something maybe more specific to an Apple computer? Because I can take a screenshot, but it ends up taking a screenshot of the entire screen.
Right. Yes. So I'm glad you said that, because one of my trainers, Carrie, just last week, she learned how to screenshot specific, not her whole screen, but a specific like where she could choose exactly what she wanted to be screenshot. And I realized that that's something that actually a lot of people kind of face. And so let me see if I can show you on my screen what it looks like real quick. Hopefully it doesn't do anything weird. Oh, weird. Sorry, it's telling me that I can't share my window. Anna, what computer do you have?
I have an HP.
Okay, so I know that there on a Mac, there are two different ways that you can screenshot. One way is requires you to screenshot your entire screen, and another way allows you to only screenshot like a selected area. And so when I press Command-Shift-4 on my MacBook, it shows me a little tiny tool, and then I just take that tool, and it almost looks like a cropping tool, and I highlight what I want to screenshot, and then that's what it'll screenshot. And so if you Google like HP, like screenshot, there has to be some kind of feature like that for you. Because what was happening is Carrie had the same issue where she was having to screenshot her entire screen and then crop it every single time to get what she wanted. And that's a lot of unnecessary work when you can just select like the exact area that you want to be screenshot. I don't know specifically what that looks like for an HP, but I would be shocked if there wasn't some kind of possibility for that for you as well. Let's see.
I can't even see the command button. It wasn't control, but command.
Mine is Command-Shift. Yours might be Control-Shift.
Okay.
It's a snipping tool, and you hit the Windows key and immediately type snipping tool. Yeah, if you maybe Google HP snip screenshot, then start menu and select the app to open it. Oh, yeah, it might require a little more effort on your part to do it on an HP. On a MacBook, it's real easy. So I can look into that a bit for you as well, and we can connect, and I can try to see what it looks like for an HP. Yeah, because I feel like using this tool for Jamboard before I got into Canva, it was like my primary way of making a lot of my slides. So I think it's worth it to figure out. So I can look into that for you as well, because it really is definitely a game changer.
I'm seeing something, so I think it exists.
Yeah, it could be a way for you to. I would be shocked if the only way you could screenshot is your entire screen.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Let's look at this. And let's see. So this is one that this is a slide that Jen did again, where she just looked online for a background she liked, set the background using the image option. And then she had all of her students go in and write different ways that they would describe themselves using sticky notes. This is a game board that was used in a children's class, which was really fun. And what she did is, these are all little pieces that you can get off of PNG, off of any kind of PNG generator. And so she downloaded these little pieces. And so each of the kids had a different color. They all start here. And then she used an online dice. And so she shared an online dice and she had them roll, or she rolled for them. And then they moved and did the different, and then answer the different questions. What sound does a dog make? What is your favorite animal? And they just worked through the board, which was really, really fun. This is also something that she found this format of a game board on Google, and she just saved it. And then in Pages, she added all of her text and images. And then she screenshot it and added it to the Jamboard. Super easy. Like, none of this stuff is complicated. Something that I realize in more and more when I'm teaching is that everything that you want to do has already been created online. Like, really, almost every single resource. When my students spend hours creating a bingo like board, I'm like, get on Google, look up bingo generator, look up game board generator, look up a word search generator, and you will literally find anything you could ever want or need. Google is a great tool for us all. This is another activity that I always really love doing in my classes. I created a tic-tac-toe board in Pages where I just used the grid to create all these boxes. I uploaded all of my images, and then in Jamboard, I uploaded individual X's and individual O's to make it really simple and easy. I've done this before where I've used the writing tool and I've used it to do X's and O's. But I think that it's easier just to have your X's and O's already uploaded in an image. And if you line them up together, then it looks really nice and neat. And then I go ahead and I make the teams and I put them in a note so that they know what team they're on, if they're X's or if they're O's. And then I have them say a vocab word. When they say their vocab word, then I put an X or an O on it. This is a super, super fun activity, and all of the students get so competitive and crazy, and it's really fun. And this is, again, just using uploading X's and O's using the image upload. Again, just screenshot this and uploaded it. And then these are all just Post-its and then the text tool to create the teams. So easy. This is something I did. Sometimes it's just something you can use to explain what you want them to do. And so we were, in one of my classes, we were talking about countable and uncountable nouns. And so I said, look for 3 countable and 3 uncountable nouns in your house and bring them back to class. And then I used a bunch of different PNG images just to make it really fun. This hand is kind of creepy, but I liked it. And then they went and they grabbed their countable, uncountable nouns, and then they came back and we shared. This is another activity I used for my countable and uncountable nouns. In a higher level class, you can send this to your students and they can do it on their own. But in a lower level class, I would just say, okay, is this an uncountable or uncountable noun? And they'd say uncountable. I say, is this a countable or uncountable noun? And then I just move it for them. And this one is really simple and really fun for them to do. And it's a way for them to be interactive in the class without actually having to get on Jamboard to do anything. And again, this is just like uploading images. There's really nothing super complicated about it. Jamboard doesn't have a lot of really fun like design features. And so if I just want like a fun border that's not just a line, then I just do it in Pages, because you know Pages has a lot of different options for borders. So I created this in Pages and I put uncountable, uncountable. I screenshot it and then added it to this Jamboard. And now it looks a little more fun than if I had just done it in Jamboard itself. Another thing, sorry, yes, Anna?
Sorry, I have a lot of questions. I actually was starting to Google what Pages is because I've never used that before.
Oh, really? Sorry. Google Pages or a Word document.
A Word doc, like Google Docs works, or
Yeah,
does
or
Google
you can
Pages
use
work
Google
better?
Docs. So what I do is I literally, let me see if I can show you on here. There we go. Okay, let's see if this works. Oh, it might not let me show you. You're not seeing anything, right? No, okay. So yes, if you go into Google Docs, you know, Google Doc is just like a piece of paper, right? And so I go into Pages is the same thing. Pages is like Google Docs or like a Word document. So you just open up any kind of like a Word document. Pages is the Apple version of Microsoft Word. Yes. So Jenna, do you have Pages? Or do you? Okay, yeah. So Pages is just like a Microsoft Word or a Google Doc. And so I just open that up and I use all of the features a Word document gives you, which allows you to do. Jamboard won't let you choose different kinds of fonts. It won't let you choose different kinds of borders. It doesn't have all of those extra features. There's a limited amount of colors you can use. As you can see, when I do the text tool, I can only choose from these colors, right? These are the only colors that are given to me. And I can only choose the size of the display. I can't choose a different font for it to be in. And so that's why sorry?
We're not seeing what you're saying.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead and share again.
I forgot
Thanks.
that I forgot that I took us out of this. So when I do text on Jamboard, right, these are the only colors I have to choose from. And then I can't choose my font type. I can only choose my font size. Right? And so because of that, because I was so limited in what I could do in Jamboard, that's why I started going into a Word document and then choosing the different fonts I wanted, or choosing borders, or choosing different colored text, or even just formatting things like in a specific way. When I do conversation slides, I make my own conversation boxes because because those are just different kinds of specific things you can't really do in Jamboard. It just isn't created for that. It's created for just really simple types of, like a whiteboard. It's just meant to be really simple, which I think is great. But again, if you're like me and you're very specific about aesthetics and you want your lesson to look a certain way, or you want it to be more engaging, or you want it to be easier to read, things in like different colors or whatnot, then that's why I do everything in like a Word doc. And it just gives me so many more options than if I were to just do it in Jamboard. Again, you can't do videos in Jamboard, but you can do GIFs or GIFs depending on who you are. And so I just found a really fun firework GIF and I uploaded it, and moving image. It's incredible. So there's different generators you can find online that will generate a GIF using a video. And right now that seems like the most common way that people upload videos onto Jamboard, but it's just getting creative and working with what you got. So that was like a lot of slides, a lot of different examples. I'm going to have you guys go in and try some of the Jamboard tools. Oh, hey, Courtney. I'm going to have you guys go in and try some of the different Jamboard tools. I just again, I think with Jamboard, it really, the best way to learn it is literally just to do it. I could sit here and I could show you a step-by-step exactly how I made every single one of these, and it still wouldn't be the same as you doing it yourself. And so let's try it. Let's just use some simple Jamboard slides. So I already created a Jamboard format for you guys to use, and all you're going to have to do is go in and edit it. Okay. So here we have our practice once again. Okay, so what I want you to do is you're going to open up your Jamboard. This is the same Jamboard we used earlier, so you should have the link, or if you already have it open. And what you're going to do is you're going to expand the frame bar. You're going to use the arrow to move all the way down to this slide here, and you can click on it. And you'll see I made a really fun Canva about you page. And the background, so all of the background and all of the wording for where I want you to put stuff was all done on Canva, and then I screenshot it and put it as a background so that when you guys do this, nothing's going to move around on you. I think, again, that's one of the benefits of using the screenshot tool, is that if I would have done something like this just on Jamboard, all of these pieces would be moving around, and it would be a nightmare for you guys to use this. And so this is just a background that I uploaded after screenshotting it. And what I want you to do is I want you to use the simple Jamboard features to create your own little About Me page. So it's going to ask for your name, your favorite song. I want you to draw your favorite food. This here is obviously cow soy, which is my current food obsession. It's a Thai noodle dish that I love. Your favorite word, I want you to use, it says add a sticky note. So use a sticky note to tell us your favorite word. My favorite word right now is copacetic, which is a word you use when things are in order. Lately, I felt like things aren't in order. And so the dream is that soon TESOL will all be copacetic. I want you to tell us how old you are. Find a fun way to tell us your age. I am 32, which is literally unbelievable to me. And then I want you to upload a photo of yourself. This is a photo of me holding a large wheel of Gouda, which makes me really sad because I used to work in a cheese shop and I wish I still did while teaching. I love my current job, but I also love cheese. And then when you're finished, I want you to go to somebody else's slide and I want you to sign your name. So not your own slide, but somebody else's. I have a big job for you. And that job is that I want you, if you go into where the slides are, and if you move over one, you'll see a blank format here. And so you're just going to duplicate it, and then you can start your own about me. But I want you guys all to practice duplicating this slide here, the first one. And then you can fill out your little about me. And then when you're finished, give me a holler and we'll take a look at everyone's. Does anybody have any questions about doing this portion?
I'm not sure how to duplicate it.
Okay, so if you go to the first blank slide here, and if you press, there's on the right-hand side, you'll see 3 dots. You press on that and you press duplicate, and a new one will be created.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Elise, I have a question.
Yes.
You signed your name Elise Perez.
Oh, yikes.
So I'm going to sign mine Courtney Johnson. I just wanted to throw that one out there.
I'm putting her on mute now.
I'm still adjusting. I was married last year, and I'm still adjusting to being married. I want a really fun picture done, too. Something that'll just really wow and amaze us all.
Elise, what is your last name?
Legally, my last name is Perez, but technically Thompson.
Oh, okay. You just haven't gotten it fully changed yet.
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet. I'm still holding on to my Hispanic roots. Before I go from a very Mexican last name to a very white last name.
Ooh, I can duplicate. Nope.
Really? Yeah, just twist it. Just twist it. They're going to know it was you.
Twist what?
No, don't twist it. It looked better that way.
I can change the font.
No. Spend your time looking for a photo.
Okay. Favorite song. Okay. Good answer. Whoa.
What is the name of that song?
No, don't do it.
No? Not with this crowd?
For those asking, I'm keeping Courtney on mute because you don't need to hear this. And also, thank you, Elise, for fixing my spelling.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Did you know he first spelled my name Brooks and then started to spell it with my C-O-R-R? So, you know.
Like,
I also have a Hawaiian themed week, just because we're with you guys.
Yeah.
In 2017, Andy and Courtney came to Hawaii to help replant the TESOL, and Courtney went from Courtney to Coco, her Hawaiian indigenous name. Oh my gosh. Your cat. Look at him. He's so happy. Emily, what's your cat's name again?
I was trying to figure out who posted a photo of a cat and like who has a cat here. I didn't understand what we were talking about. I had a brain fart. This is Gracie. I forgot that you could see me because I closed out my video. I don't like staring at myself. This is Gracie. Gracie really likes to wow Jen. Jen is mesmerized by my cat, so now I've committed to send her photos of my cat while she's in Bible school.
Yeah, I love that. She needs it.
Every few days. It's constant. Oh, well, that's way easier. She's really needy right now. That's why she's on me, regardless of how awkward she can be. There we go.
Who are you with in that photo, Anna? That's so cute. Sorry, you're mute. On mute.
That's my boyfriend, Micah.
Okay.
A little subtle flex.
What?
Nothing.
I don't know what my favorite word is.
All right, and then draw your favorite food. We're gonna draw.
What's your favorite song?
What's our favorite food? What are your favorite songs? Pick one.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Favorite song.
There's Mumford.
You know what's one of the Snoop Dogg affirmation songs.
There's the affirmation song.
Affirmation song. You want to do that one?
Yeah, do that one. D-O-double-G.
This is going to be recorded.
There it is. There it is.
All right, and then draw your favorite food.
Favorite food.
Oh, you can hear me. Can you hear my cat meowing all the way through this whole thing? I just realized I was not on mute. I was going to unmute myself to tell you that I think it's so audacious that Daniel makes fun of you. He's so funny. I saw him in class yesterday and I'm like, man, that gentleman.
Daniel, so crazy.
He once he gets released and his tongue is released to be in English all the time, he's going to be the funniest joker.
Really?
I love how much confidence he has with you and the other students to like just be himself in class.
Like
great.
Every time I call on him in class, he goes, ay, ay, ay.
Ay, ay, ay.
Every time without fail. Ay, ay, ay.
In local class, he also kind of teases another student. So they tease each other now. So he's like, Rose, you speak English. And she says, you speak English, Daniel.
It's really fun when Jesus is in class because they
work off each other.
They're really funny. Oh, wow. There are... Wait.
Putting too much effort into this drawing of food right
No,
now.
I love it because when you see another drawing, you're going to be upset. Oh my God.
I think I'm up there with you and your grapes right now.
Oh my gosh, every time I draw, at least two of the students are like making fun of me about it. Oh, Anna, I'm gonna try to guess what your favorite food is. Is it two or is that all one thing? Is it a bento?
It's further. No, it's three things because I couldn't choose one.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, so intricate. Beautiful. Okay, when you're all finished,
I have to sign somebody's.
find somebody's to sign. And then we'll take a little gander. I think, Anna, you're adding your song here. And then I think that we're done.
Ooh, I said, ooh, we could have picked a better word.
Yeah, you really could have.
That we were thinking of you, clearly.
Wahine.
Wahine.
Yes, wahine.
I love your family photo. That's best. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh,
Anna,
come on. Why is your taco so good? Ah!
let's look. I know.
There was a pre-made shape. There was a pre-made shape, Emily.
I love it. Okay, Anna, we can come back together. And Anna, can you tell us what your favorite foods are? Is one of them... Wait, I honestly don't know. Is one of them spaghetti?
You're on mute.
Okay, sorry, I had to unmute. Yes, pasta.
Pasta. Okay. And
Cheese.
oh, okay, I see it. It's like holes are in the cheese. Okay.
Yeah.
This is
Brisket.
okay. Yeah, I can see that. I can see how that's brisket. Wow, very beautiful. You are 24. How do you use heavens to
I
Betsy?
wrote JC, but I don't know if
Yeah, I couldn't think of one word, so I just knew that I liked to say heavens to Betsy a lot. So I used a phrase instead.
Wait, but like, how would you use that phrase?
Oh, I would say it's an exclamatory. So you'd be like, heavens to Betsy! What?
Betsy.
And my roommate then says, "Who's Betsy?"
Who's Betsy? Who's Betsy? Your very cute boyfriend pick, so sweet. And then Goodness of God, perfect. Oh, so many songs. Emily, is that your signature? Very beautiful.
Mhm.
That is beautiful, Emily.
Very beautiful.
Put me to shame.
I'm trying to work on it because it's a new last name too.
Yeah, that's a blank one. Wow, Andy and Coco. Today is Taco Tuesday.
Whatever, so professional.
This tonight. Wow, this looks like a really beautiful taco.
Whatever.
Together
79.
79. I feel like that number should be higher.
Oh, boo.
Is this a Thai reference?
Okie dokie crap. Okie dokie crap. This is what our TESOL trainer, Julie in Chiang Rai, she's from the Midwest, so she taught us some good Thai phrases from the Midwest. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okie dokie ka.
Sabadi mai ka.
Sabadi ka.
Okie dokie ka.
That's all I remember in Thailand. This is so cute. Oh my gosh. Look at these little people. Is this from this last December? Or whatever winter is in Montana?
Yeah, but we were too busy, so none of you guys got Christmas cards. So
Yep.
If you didn't notice,
This is so cute.
Whatever.
Emily's still bitter.
And then the affirmation song by Snoop Dogg is a big hit in our office.
Is it really?
One of my TESOL trainers got a hold of it, and now it is a staple.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I wouldn't have put any Snoop Dogg song up there, but for teachers, if you haven't experienced it, then
I'm looking it up after the session.
Yes.
yeah.
It is my favorite.
You would love it. Jenna, wow. We have some, what I'm assuming is PB&J. I love it. PB&J from like a squeeze bottle. You are 35. What is
Some of it's not really true. I just was filling in stuff. I do like PB&J, but I just was putting the first things that came to mind. I really
Like that there's a chicken.
What is
My
this
name is
word?
Jenna, but PB&J, I eat it, but no.
I was questioning anybody who has put PB&J as their absolute favorite meal. So I'm glad that we're.
I love a good PB&J.
I just was enjoying the tool and exploring.
I love it.
I
love it.
I know what to put in your welcome basket.
Yeah.
It's good.
Food allergies, so I'm like, well, I don't really eat bread.
She's like
I don't
allergic
eat that
to
much
peanut
sugar,
butter.
but sure, I can draw this. Anyway,
What is this word?
what is what?
Your favorite word?
Oh, yeah, so that one's actually, I guess, real. Hesed. It's loving kindness. It's a Hebrew word.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I love this. This is so cute. Is this a?
Oh, yeah, I'm a bit of a chicken,
background.
so like afraid of things. So yeah, it's the first thing that came to mind. And I don't have very many pictures of myself, so it was like, wow, that'll take too much
No,
time. to
I
find
love
stuff.
it. I love it, and I also really love this song from Shannon. So good choice.
I don't know if it's a favorite. I just listened to it this morning because I read Psalm 34. I'm sort of like, how do I just fill in the page?
No, I love it.
You nailed it.
That's a good favorite food, a good word. I love it. Wow, Emily. Look at this.
I feel like we should acknowledge that I used no cheats. So.
I know. Those are beautiful.
Yeah. And our tomatoes were way more soggy than your tomatoes. Although I don't know how you julienned your tomatoes, so it's thinly sliced. It's impressive.
I like just like the meat coming out.
It's almost like a taco cannoli, you know?
Yeah, I love it.
They're from the north end.
They're Boston, yeah.
Boston.
We are 42. What is this word?
Behoove. It's like super the importance of the urgency of someone to do something. So I've actually been using it a lot with my trainees. It would behoove you to be in my next class so you can observe how Elise does E1. It would behoove you to attend to this. It would be in your best interest, basically. And I just have been using it so much because I think it's such a fun word.
Yeah, I love that. This is a very professional TESOL photo, I feel like.
Yeah, it is one of the most professional photos I've had recently, like 3 years ago.
I maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, we took staff photos. I have a staff photo that I use for absolutely everything because it's the only
it's fantastic
photo I have of myself. And people need to take me seriously. Okay. And we love a good, this looks like She Wears Glasses favorite song.
So I learned that I don't have to save every image. In fact, I tried to save an image and lost it on my computer. So I just copy and paste it into.
Oh, yeah.
And it's fine. Does the same thing.
Yeah, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Tips and tricks. That was everybody. Wow. I feel like I just know everyone in a deep and intimate way. We all learned something about Jenna and her favorite food. So fun. All right, listen, everyone. You just have to use Jamboard. You know, you just have to do it. Like, there's really like no other way about it. You just have to trial and error it, and you have to Google a lot of stuff, and you have to screenshot a lot of things, and you just have to have fun. And you have to use Pinterest, and you have to look at Jamboard like activities on Pinterest, and then just scroll for ages and get inspired. And so everything that you could ever want to make for a lesson is already made somewhere.
I love that. That's like one of the best teacher
You
tips.
find it and then adjust it and then make it your own.
Yep. That's it.
That's Jamboard. That's all that we can do. Andy.
Elise, just real quick, did the preposition activity that we did with the manipulative tactile thing?
I love it.
You may have said this. Did you create all that, or did you create all those PNGs and stuff, or did you find that somewhere?
Yeah,
so I want to steal it.
For this really fun activity, this is actually an activity that was already created. Well, see, this is already such a good lesson. This is something that was already created that I took and I redid to my likings. And so what it originally looked like, which I'm going to show you real quick because I think that it's... Okay, so this is what the original slides looked like. So again, this is just somebody who used like the background feature and then the text feature and then Post-its. And so this is like a good example of what, like, this was all done in Jamboard, right? So there's no outside resources used. And then what they did is, yikes. This is the image that was used. Again, this is just an image done as a background, and then the text tool, and then the Post-its. And then for their shelves, they just screenshot, right, what was already in the image, which I kind of liked for a class because it keeps things really like recognizable, right? There's no like new things that they're seeing. But for my Jamboard, because even though that looks great, even though that looks great, I was like, I want to make it more I'm so sorry. I wanted to make it more aesthetically pleasing. So this is something this is something that I made in Canva, and then I screenshot it and added it as a background so that it wouldn't move around. And then I used the same image, which I screenshot and added to my slide. Actually, that's a lie. I did all of this on Canva. So I created a background, added this image, and then I added all of the text on the side using Canva. And then I screenshot this whole thing. This whole thing is a screenshot from a slide in Canva. And then I just used it as a background. And then here, I created these sidebars and not that. I created the sidebars and the shelves all in Canva. Oops. So these shelves and the sidebars were all done in Canva. I screenshot it and uploaded it. And then I downloaded all of these PNG images onto my computer. And then I use the upload tool to upload all of the PNG images. And then they all just show up on here, right? So that people can move them around.
That is brilliant.
So well done.
And so it's like a little bit of both. I usually like all of the formats I make are right now done on Canva. And then if I want like anything that I want to be able to move or to delete or whatever in my lesson, I just make sure that it's done in Jamboard. Yeah, and so, but I just downloaded all of these different images and then uploaded them. And then if I couldn't find a PNG for it, like this peanut butter, you can kind of tell has the white, and it's because I couldn't find a PNG I wanted, and so I just screenshot it really closely. And you would never know. Yeah. This is like really fun. I'm so sorry. I think that all Jamboards are good Jamboards. So there we go. I'm sorry. I'm due for another coffee. Yeah. Anyways, that's it. Now you're doing some jamming with me. It's really, again, it's something that you just do, and then it all just comes together.
Thank you so much, Elise. This has been amazing.
You know, Anna, I'm ready to see your Jamboards.
Me too.
I have a proposition for you, Elise.
Yeah.
So building out a module on the use of applications, I think we could get you in another video.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh.
I just think that
we're on the Elise video.
Yeah, because the culture and the speaking interview was not enough.
Yeah, because we were just talking about that with Jenna. I was apologizing to her. You have all of these really great like high-tech videos, and then there's me. I'm like, hey, everyone.
It was beautiful. Still my favorite videos.
What?
They're still my favorite videos.
Oh gosh.
Although in this private little group, I would encourage everyone to go back, watch Elise's videos, and ask yourself, is she really writing that down? You're like,
okay.
She did the teaching methods chart twice as fast as I did.
Nobody writes that quick, Elise. Nobody writes that quick.
Interview. I'm like, it's like what she's saying and what I'm writing down like is not adding up.
And the fact that the page is like, it's just a piece of paper, so it's like she wrote it that quickly. She doesn't have anything to write on. Looks like she's drawing Emily's tacos.
I think we're all in
Okay.
here for.
So if we can get Elise to come and make a module, or from Hawaii make a module about how to do this, because I really want to see the next part, and I want to see you using the background removal tool on Canva and just geeking out on that, because we love Canva too. If you do that, I'll make you a t-shirt. I'll either give you one of these, got some Hawaiian and stuff representing hope, or I'm going to make you a t-shirt that says peanut butter and Jamboards. And it's just,
oh my gosh,
it's going to be awesome. I don't know what it'll look like, but I think these two things go together. Teaching and online, all this stuff you're teaching us goes together like peanut butter and Jamboards.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, you need to start an online store.
Yeah,
we have
one. It's just hidden.
CitizensTESOL.org/store right now, and you'll see some gems they're not ready for the public. But
Well, I have some suggestions. I'll email you.
Okay.
please do. Please do.
We have to go
All
pick
right.
up our kid.
Yeah, we have to go, but thank you so much, Elise.
Everybody, keep on jamming. Send me all of your Jamboards, and if you figure something out on it that I don't know, let me know.
Thank you.
I'd love to hear all about it.
Thank you.
so much.
Yeah, it's good seeing you all.
It's fun.
Bye.
Thank you for coming, Jenna. It's good to
Thanks
meet
for
you.
having me.
Yeah.
Learning lots of things. Yep.
Okay,
Have a good day,
bye.
guys. Bye.
I don't have a question.
Wow, so much.
You guys
real
are the
quick,
best.
well,
We gotta go.
Literally.
We gotta go. We're gonna be
Really
late.
late.
You guys are the
Team.
best. You guys are the best.
What you do. I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Okay, we'll see you. Bye.